Here's one way to actually experience freedom, even in activity. And that state could easily be called the state of flow. In order to explore this, I think it's important to understand the relationship between experience and awareness of experience. And this relationship between experience and awareness of experience is something that has been explored by spiritual teachers throughout history. So, the statement that experience in awareness is intermittent, but awareness itself is continuous, points to a very fundamental truth about the nature of both experience and reality. Awareness is continuous. Experience is intermittent. The experience of the body is intermittent. The experience of thought is intermittent. The experience in dreams is intermittent. Our everyday experience, of course, is characterized by a constant flow of sensations, thoughts, emotions, perceptions. We're constantly engaged in those thoughts, emotions, sensations, perceptions, and we interpret them as mind and body. And this is how we are constantly engaged with the world, or what we call the world around us, a projection or interpretation of those sensory experiences, perceptions, and thoughts. We experience periods of deep sleep, though, where our conscious awareness seems to disappear because we have no subjective experience in deep sleep. However, even in deep sleep, there is awareness. There is awareness of the absence of experience. So in deep sleep, there's absence of experience, but there is awareness. If somebody makes a loud noise, you suddenly become aware of it. So that means awareness did not disappear, or suddenly a dream comes and you become aware immediately. And then, of course, what you're becoming aware of is experience. And that experience is what we're constantly identifying with. So while our experience may be intermittent, awareness remains. Even in deep sleep, when we have no subjective experiences, our awareness remains present. And this awareness is pure consciousness. It is the witness in all experience. And even in the absence of experience, it is the witness of the absence of experience. So, this continuous awareness is the foundation of our existence. Silent witness to all our experiences, thoughts, emotions. It's the space in which our experiences arise, and also the space into which our experiences subside. When we recognize and rest in this continuous awareness, we can find a sense of stability and peace amongst the ever-changing landscape of experience. How do we cultivate this in the waking state right now? The closest you can cultivate this is when you adopt the attitude in every moment, and it takes a little time to do this. And this is how I do it. no resistance, no defensiveness, no seeking, and no story, just presence. Because that presence is the continuum of awareness, presence. And when we actually cultivate this, even in deep sleep, we recognize that even birth and death are experiences. In fact, birth and death are happening all the time. Every thought is born as soon as it dies. Every perception is born as soon as it dies. Every emotion is born as soon as it dies. Why then does it seem that experience is continuous? That is because we have this tendency to create a story out of the experience. And that story then becomes our internal dialogue, which is the karmic software of the projected body and its entangled experience of the world. So let's try this. No resistance, no defensiveness, no seeking, and no story, just presence. See if you feel a sense of flow and joy when you experience that. And then what you can do is you can also actually take it a little further. You can find freedom even in the midst of experience. And how do we do that? We find our anchor as awareness in the midst of experience. Okay, this points to the liberating potential of recognizing and resting in this continuum of awareness. When we get caught up in the content of experience, our thoughts, emotions, perceptions, we often feel trapped by them and then limited by them. We then identify with our experiences and we come to believe that they define us. However, by recognizing we are not our experiences, but the awareness that underlies them, we can find this freedom and that spaciousness, and we can experience flow. We can observe our thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them. And we can engage with the world and our experiences with a sense of presence and clarity rather than being caught up or even feeling trapped by them. Okay? In this state, there's no reactivity and there's no compulsive behavior. There is only joy. Try it. No resistance, no defensiveness, no seeking, and no story. I hope you found this useful. I'll keep sharing anyway because I enjoy it. That's my story.